So tonight's speaker is someone I've known for almost 10 years, maybe a little less than 10 years. Joy Metcalfe. She is a medical intuitive, a Reiki master teacher, a Reiki master practitioner. She's also an internationally known holistic health counselor, writer, and lecturer with over 22 years experience in her field. Tonight she shares with us some insight that was passed to her through meditations, visions, and channeled sessions with her guides. Her topic is the 4 pillars of health, and here's Joy Metcalfe.
Thanks, Shea.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very happy to be here tonight. So, health. What exactly is it? The definition of health in Webster and Wikipedia is the complete state on a body-mind, physical and social level of well-being that's not limited to the absence of disease or infirmity. So that's a pretty good definition of health. But as a vibrational medicine master practitioner, as a medical intuitive, it doesn't really get it completely for me. Because I believe that everything is energy, and that a better definition of health would be the ability of an individual to recognize, access, maintain, and manifest beneficial energy. That the greater quantity one is able to do that dictates the greater level of health and well-being that they experience in their bodies and in their lives. Now, luckily for me, it makes me very happy to say that quantum physics and different modalities of spirituality and religions agree with me. Albert Einstein's unified field theory states that beneath a seemingly limited, chaotic, and ever-changing reality consciousness lies a never-ending, never-changing energy consciousness from which all life arises. And Aldous Huxley wrote a book in 1945, and for those of you who don't know who he is, I know you do, Stephen, he went to the school that Aldous Huxley put together in Southern California. But Aldous Huxley was a very well-known intellectual and writer in the last century, and he wrote a book called The Perennial Philosophy. And this was an exhaustive study on all the known religions from the beginning of time and spiritual schools of thought. And in the study, he was looking for areas where there was commonality. Where did they agree? And he came up with 3 precepts. And the first precept is, beneath a seemingly chaotic, limited, and ever-changing reality lies a never-ending, never-changing energy consciousness from which all life arises. The second precept was that that reality consciousness is within all living things. And the third precept was that the purpose of life is to remember this, to access that energy, and to manifest it out into the world. So with that in mind, it would therefore follow that health is the ability to connect to this reality consciousness, to have it within you, and to be able to manifest it out into the world. Now, about 20 odd years ago, I was given the information about these 4 pillars of health, that they were actually a structure that allowed individuals to gain a greater level of consciousness, which would let them tap into this unified field of energy consciousness. And the first pillar that I'd like to talk about tonight is proper rest. And what I mean by proper is that which is right for you. You know, we're all individual and unique souls. We all have different levels of consciousness and different tools and lessons that we need to learn in each lifetime. And so it's very important that we have the consciousness to know what creates health, energy, vitality, and well-being on a personal level. You know, the Buddha says in the Dhammapada, which is his book of collected teachings and sayings, that it is better to live one's own life imperfectly than to live somebody else's life perfectly. And so it's very important to find out what creates health and well-being for you. And so with proper rest, what that means, obviously, is the ability to rest and replenish. If we are active in life, you know, because we have live in a cause and effect reality, it's important to be able then to replenish the energy that we've expended in activity. It's kind of like a no-brainer, right? But you'd be surprised how many people come to me in my private practice who have kind of skipped over this precept. And a lot of that, I think, is cultural. You know, we kind of have grown up in the Nike ad of just do it. If you're tired, have an energy drink. You know, just push through, right? And so the art of replenishment, the art of resting and rebuilding has kind of been lost. And if you don't rest effectively on a beneficial, you know, effective level, what happens after a while is you get a condition that in Chinese medicine is called tired but restless. And when you've reached that state, what that means is that you're in a state of this underlying anxiety that permeates your life, and it prevents you from being able to rest. You know, we've all had the experience of being really tired, but you just can't let go. You start thinking about, I should be doing this, and whoa, I didn't do that, and whoa, what about this over here? And that's what happens when you're tired and restless. And for parents, you know, we've all had the experience of having a kid that's overtired, and it's not pretty, right? They throw fits, they're, you know, not pleasant to be with, and it's because what they need to do is they need to rest, and they're unable to go to that zone that lets them do that. So we want to avoid tired but restless syndrome, because after that what happens is something that, again, in Chinese medicine is called essence deficiency. When you have essence deficiency, then you're going to have some illness or dis-ease occur in your life in some way, in some capacity. I've often been shown somebody's vital life force levels, kind of like a gas gauge, that goes from empty to all the way full. And what I've found is that anybody whose vital life force energies has dropped below the halfway mark is going to have a really hard time being able to replenish themselves. It's not going to be, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to sleep 12 hours and I'm going to wake up and feel great in the morning. Usually it's a project. They have to learn how to build their energy and how to regroup the energy that they've lost. And my channel, the source, which is an energy, a mass consciousness, not an entity, put forth to me the concept that when you have essence deficiency, it's kind of like if you were a well, you've just lost your prime. And for those of you who have wells, the prime is that part that keeps the suction that allows the pump to bring up the water and put it through the pipes. So when you lose your prime, you lose the ability to access the water or the energy that's there and available to you. You can't pull it up anymore. And until you replace the prime, until you reprime the pump, you're not going to be able to get the energy that is all around us and use it in your life and in your body. So one of the best things to do when you have that kind of situation, and even if you don't, is to learn how to do breathing exercises. And breathing exercises are really of great benefit because breathing facilitates the attainment and the movement of energy. So not only will doing breathing exercises allow you to attain energy, but they will also help circulate it through the system as well. The other problem that happens for people who have lost their prime is that they may be able to gather energy, but then it doesn't circulate through their system effectively.